Great teachers are great students, gaining new insights and knowledge because they realize everyone they encounter can teach them something. Who's your teacher? That's our topic on this episode of the Educators Among Us podcast.
Welcome to the Educators Among Us podcast, where we share motivational messages and inspiring stories for and about educators. Your host, Scott Barron, is author of the critically acclaimed book, Love 'Em and Lead 'Em, and provides powerful insights and wisdom for those who heed the call to teach, coach, lead, and serve at all levels of education.
This is Scott Barron, and I'm honored to be your host for the Educators Among Us podcast. In the U.S., this is a time of celebration. This is the July 4th week, and right now I'm here, but I'm actually at the beach. That's one of my favorite places, is to be at the beach, and Tammy and I particularly love being down in the panhandle of Florida, and so that's where we're going to be with our families on July 4th, and just have a bang up time, and then we get right on the road again to going down to Florida to speak at a conference, and then get to kind of take off from there, and then a lot of adventures start for the new year in the U.S. But as we go through those travels, of course, we recognize that educators come in all shapes and sizes, and all types of schools, and missions, and values, and context. And that's the real joy of our work, is we get to provide some perspective and encouragement. We particularly do that through our weekly encouragement for educators. And this is a video version of that email. It goes out every Monday morning around 7:30 or so. And again, it's designed to say, hey, come on, we can do this. Don't lose perspective. Don't lose hope. You make a difference. You make a big difference. And so we're really grateful for you. And that's why we do this, is to recognize the contribution that you make to the whole field, and also to know that right there in your community, you make a big difference. And so thank you. As you're working with students, as a teacher myself, and working with different now adult students, because we get to be teachers of teachers of teachers, right? And so, different students have different characteristics. And as we teach in different places, we all love students who are highly engaged. They bring an energy. The body language is affirming. I was speaking in front of a group recently, and their body language was just so encouraging. Sometimes you lose energy when you're in front of people like that. And man, it was incredible. We just kind of fed off of each other, and I loved it. And, we love having self-motivated students who are smart and do the work, and they participate and ask great questions. And that's part of the journey. And of course, we also know that, that we have to be students. And that's the thing about, an educator, right? The best educators are actually the best students. The world as we have created it is a process of our thinking. This is Albert Einstein, right? The world that we've created, it's a result of our minds, our perspective. It's our thinking, right? And our world cannot be changed without changing our thinking, because that's what produces it, right? And we know from all of our travels, especially over these last 6 weeks, it's been an immense and intense chance to learn and to grow from people. And as we've experienced remarkable new peoples, cultures, and stories, we have options. We can kind of close up and just kind of stay in our world and do our thing and move on, or we can actually pause, and we can embrace these moments, because they stretch our brains, right? They stretch our brains with new ideas and new relationships. And we learned so many things from these most recent adventures, and continue to, as we work with schools that are taking on their own unique challenges, and they're working through some things that are more contextual, or they're local, or sometimes they're part of the whole story of what we go through. But that's the privilege, right? We get to learn, we get to grow, and our attitude when encountering others changes everything, right? The real pivot point is, are they an annoying obstruction, or a valuable instruction, right? Are they getting in the way of what we want to do? Or do we pause for a moment and go, wait, everybody I encounter is teaching me something, right? They possess a unique piece of knowledge, a unique level of wisdom, some unique experiences that are specific to them. I don't know their story. What they've encountered is could be nothing like what I've encountered, but I can learn from them if I listen, right? If I allow them, that they can contribute vital guidance for our own journey if we ask those questions, if we stay curious, if we treat them not as an obstruction, but as an instruction. That's the pivot point for our lives. Right? Socrates said, I know one thing, and that is that I know nothing. Right? That's the journey of wisdom. The journey of wisdom is infinite. You never arrive. You're always on that journey. You're seeking, you're asking, you're knocking. You're trying to figure out, how does that work? Recognizing that how it worked last time may not be the way it works this time. Different situations, different factors, right? And we have enough sense to stay aware, to stay curious, because our facts are often versions of reality that we use to conveniently craft contrived conclusions. Try saying that a few times fast, right? I'll say it one more time. Facts are often versions of reality that we use to conveniently craft contrived conclusions. It's not actually true. We just have made it true. It's like Einstein said, we have to change our thinking to change our world. How is that student? How is that parent, colleague, boss, family member, or just passerby? How are they so far off? How are they missing it? Right? Hey, as I said earlier, great teachers are great students. Why? Because they astutely pay attention. They listen and they learn. Who's your teacher? Right? Who's your teacher? That's that's our title for this session today. Who's your teacher? And it turns out that if you're wise, if you're smart enough, it's everyone. Everyone you encounter, every person can teach us something worthwhile. It teaches us something that we can take and expand our understanding, our perspective, and improve, right? I mean, that's the subtle shift in perspective that enables us to learn important insights and pursue attractive opportunities that previously, that before, were clouded from view by overconfidence. That's the power of staying curious. That's true of educators and teachers and coaches, even board members. Some of the best board members that we've ever seen, they have a unique level of wisdom and especially curiosity. It's because they understand Romans 12:3. A, do not think of yourself more highly than you ought, but rather think of yourself with sober judgment, right? Think of yourself as you view yourself, as you see who you are, being willing to, that sober judgment says, hey, I'm not getting drunk on myself or my own stories, reading my own clippings, as they say, but instead I'm willing to face the facts about me. I'm willing to learn. I have a deep curiosity about me. I'm willing to seek answers to, what is it like to be on the other side of me? What is it like? And how can I learn from you? Because you bring something that I don't have. And I'd love to learn from you. I'd love to learn from your experience and your wisdom. So move up to that higher level. That gives us greater perspective above all the noise. And, if you go higher, if you get outside the mix of the chaos and the other things that are going on, it gives us a chance to see at a higher level, right? So look up to stay aware of the bigger picture, dodging the dangers of stinking thinking, right? I mean, because our minds can go in so many different directions, in so many sour directions that, it binds us up. It creates fear, it creates anxiety, and that's not a good use of our imagination, right? We have to listen up. Right? We have to listen up with delight and learning from them and willfully and skillfully staying curious. Right? We got to grow up. Getting older, that's the easy part. We got to grow up by acknowledging gaps and choosing to incorporate new methods of work and how we do things and learning from each other and being willing to sharing and collaborate, right? Hey, tune up through refinement of practices and messages that elevate our impact. We keep learning because life keeps teaching and we're smart enough to keep up, right? So the challenge is, right, be a great student. Be a great student of people this week, my friend, learning more because you care more. Right? The student characteristics that we like to teach, great teachers are great students. We have a curiosity. We have an engagement. We come prepared. We ask great questions. We know how to skillfully and willfully learn from them because we treat everybody as a teacher, someone that we can learn from. That's a game changer. Hey, as you're going through this week, a coaching question to consider, we provide these as a prompt because excellence is the result of habits. And so these questions are designed to help you think about some new habits. And it's a great way to let someone hold you accountable, to speak into your life. Find somebody who you can ask mutual questions of. And this is one to consider. Did I do my best to be a great student today? In my reading, in my listening, in my exploration, did I do my best to be a great student today? Love him and lead him, my friend. This is Scott.
Thank you for joining us for the Educators Among Us podcast and for your courageous commitment to this noble calling. We get you and the challenges of this work. To stay connected with this community, be sure to subscribe to our podcast and weekly encouragement at educatorsamongus.com.